How's everyone doing? Thank you so much for joining us on the very special edition of the Ronin Rumble Podcast name pending called the Poverty Edition.
Yeah.
So today we've got myself and my lovely cast of husbandos here, such as
Oh God.
Qiom. Say what's up, Qiom.
What's up, everybody?
We've also got the CEO Taku champion, Tsuntenshi. What's up?
That's me. I'm Tsuntenshi.
No, what's good?
Then we've got the man that you guys all know. Let's see some Sonic Wilds in the chat for this guy. Got Sonic Soul. Say hello. They all know.
What
you.
up?
So we call the Poverty Edition because today we'll be talking about anime. Anime games. We all know about that. And, going to the bathroom breaks and everything like that for poverty. Then we got the anime, just shows in general. Then we'll probably talk about manga and even movies as well. So, because we're going to be talking about anime, I think it's very appropriate for us to talk about Granblue, right? Granblue,
We all know Granblue.
oh yeah, definitely. Granblue, it's...
Some more than others.
Yeah. Granblue, it's the new fighting game right now, and it just got hit by a patch. I'm not gonna say it's a very big patch, but it's a patch. Nonetheless, it changed the game in one way or the other. So, but yeah, I know Sonic's been talking about it a lot, so I'll give you a break. But I am curious to see what Tsuntenshi has to say about it, though.
About the patch.
Yes, sir.
So, I have I'm not sure what everyone else's history of Arc System Works games is, but I came into, I kind of grew up into fighting games with BlazBlue, and BlazBlue's patches were insane. So seeing a lot of complaints about Granblue's patch is kind of wild. Considering other patches that I've experienced have completely flipped a tier list and changed a character's playstyle.
hmm
And even recently in BB Tag, there's a character Gordo. He was a problem character, mainly because of the mechanics, and they ripped everything away from him. But they left other characters untouched, and he just never saw the light of day ever again. And I feel like there's way too much demand for destroying a character. I feel like people want to see a character die, but I feel like their approach was to make them still playable, and kind of try and meet them in the middle. They missed that mark a bit, I think, and that just kind of happens with fighting games. It's difficult. If it was that easy, then every fighting game would be perfect, but it's clearly not. So I think I think the patch is good. That's my from an outsider perspective, because I'm a casual. I kind of just watch everything from the outside. I want to play Granblue more, but Jeff has me doing all his graphics every week, so I don't have time for that. But I think the patch is fine. It's not perfect, but I think compared to everything else I've experienced, it's not a terrible patch like how I have heard some other people say it is.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think it's so when I first heard about the April patch, I thought maybe they would change the game drastically, kind of almost butcher some characters, even like Fairy, for example, even Catalina, change, maybe even nerf Matera, because
Technically, Fairy and Catalina kind of got butchered in a way, but
in a sense, yeah, but it's not
in a way.
It's not
In a way.
I want to talk about that too.
I'll let Sonic Soul take care of the in-depth details, because like I said, I'm an outsider, casual type. So the things I see are kind of just from surface level, I guess. So I'll leave all the specifics to him.
All right, yeah, I think I do agree though. The patch it's a great patch. I think it's a really good patch, honestly. But yeah, that's just my opinion on it though. But yeah, I am curious to see what Sonic Soul has to say about it, because I know you've been very in depth with it, probably 12 hours or something from yesterday.
I did spend 12 hours. Yes.
Nice. That's what I want to hear, dude. Nice. But yeah, you can give us a little bit of your insight on that then.
So basically, with this patch, right? A lot of people, like, as we've heard from Tsuntenshi and Higashi, a lot of people thought that there were going to be drastic changes, right? A lot of people were like, oh man, yo, Lancelot, he's cooking everybody. We're seeing like 8 Lancelots in top 8s. We're seeing like fairies all over the place. This character's cheap. K-Brad, shout outs to him. He was like, yo, fairy's top 1. She's cheap as hell. So we're getting a lot of people complaining about like the top tiers, right? Even with Cat and Gran as well, because they do a lot of damage and they hit you once and it's a snowball factor, right? So a lot of people had these like expectations of, well, they're gonna hit Fairy, they're gonna hit Cat, they're gonna hit Lancelot, right? But what happened, and I said it on my Twitter as well, I think this patch is mostly made to kill scrubs. Like it's mostly made. It's mostly made to kill scrubs. It's not too heavy to where characters die, right? Like, because I don't think characters died. Like, Tsuntenshi mentioned that Fairy and Cat got hit quite a bit. They got hit in terms of their normal priority of some attack normals to make them more whiff punishable, so they're not as abusable, right? So like far 5H, far M. I think 2U was also got its priority adjusted, right? Catalina's far H with her standing far H, it had its hitbox. The horizontal hitbox was adjusted because it used to anti-air people actually, and it was extremely active. So
yeah, it was 8 active frames. 8. Could you believe that? 8?
I know.
I play mainly Percival, and that thing just made me not want to play ranked ever again.
you got a far 5M with Percival that's -7 on block. That shit's risky as hell, but you got a hit confirm that. Meanwhile, this fucking gorilla of a waifu is out here just going, and then she has so many years to hit confirm that. That was ridiculous. So yeah, they definitely hit that. They hit other characters. I got like so many people coming into my chat talking to me about, oh, did you see the far 5L nerf with Matera? Oh my god, it's terrible. It's got a lower hurt box now, so everybody could whiff punish it. There were matchups where literally Matera would just like mash far 5L. She'd be like, and Soris would just die. Like Soris was just not a character to her.
Yeah,
but
now if you watch Infiltration, he would abuse 5L.
Yeah,
he would use it all day, and it could hit confirm in the EX arrows as well. That's
EX
crazy.
low shot depending on the spacing, but yes. Yeah. So it's like that normal was mad good, but it's like they nerfed it to where it's used as it's supposed to be used to stop rolls, because rolls do not have lower body invuln, so it checks them. It's supposed to be used as a feint for her regular projectile, seeing as they both share the same startup animation. So you could feint between far 5L and Fireball to fake out what you're doing and then eventually punish them. It's very much useful for that, and of course offense, because that normal, I believe, is +5 on block. And it's a projectile technically, so why would it not be +5 on block anyway? You don't really get much other than EX Fireball. So you use it to more or less cancel and end pressure and return to neutral. You don't necessarily use it, as we've seen a lot of people use it, mash it in the neutral to stop like long range pokes like hardcore. You use it to stop approach. So when I saw those changes, when I saw the changes to even other characters where they all got their 5Ms adjusted, right? Or their auto combos were adjusted to be in line with everybody within the cast, so where they don't clash. Everybody got normalized or slightly adjusted to not be like a tool that scrubs can use. Lastly, I think the main character that probably got hit the most is the most characters that got hit was Lancelot, Bubs, and Ladiva. Those are the 3 characters I think that got hit the worst because of the system mechanic changes and obviously some direct changes. So Bubs, we know he throws his black feather projectile, right? You can now hit projectiles out of their startup and they don't come out, right? So he's usually using that projectile to feint your roll, to bait it out, because you want to roll it and spot dodge it, so he delays the projectile, right? We see people like Flux Waves, and Slay, they play Beelzebubs and they do this, right? But now it's going to be tougher when they get hit out of their startup. They're not able to really chuck their plasma like that as effectively. Right. When you see characters like Ladiva, Jan. Shout outs to Jan. That boy's been cooking everybody. But
Jan,
the one
and Silent.
Exactly, and Silent. Shout outs to those two, Jan and Silent, repping Ladiva. But real talk, like, yo, Guard Crush EX Lariat was kind of cheap. Like, Guard Crush EX Lariat
in general is just really good.
Exactly.
But I mean, you could crouch it. You could crouch it though.
You can't crouch
really?
it.
But then if you Guard Crush me, you get free command grab after. Dash cancel command grab because of a bug? Nah, I'm good. I don't need to deal with that. I don't need to deal. That's too much. You could stop with that. And then obviously Lancelot was one of the biggest ones that people talked about. Like, you can't just spam, like, you can't do jump 5U into like turbulence anymore.
It's noticeable too. I thought it was like be a very minor thing, but it's actually noticeable. Like, I can actually mash now. More
exactly.
So than before.
We saw Real Ice show like a preview of this. Whenever he fights a Lancelot, be it in my tournament or Ronin Rumble, he is able to dispatch that Lancelot very effectively. And one of the ways he was doing it was he was seeing the Lancelot he would do jump 5U in the air. And the moment he saw, not even when they land, when he saw them in the air about to do it, he would just mash on L. He would just mash on L and stuff them out. So that is now effective for every character in the cast to do. Not just it wasn't a Zeta thing, but now it's reactable. Now you're able to deal with it
now
because it has so much
normies
recovery.
can actually react to it, and now realize is like, oh yeah, Lance is free now, no problem.
The Gorilla Blade, the Gorilla Blade is finally adjusted so I can react to it and punish it, right? Like those things. That's why I said, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's a scrub killer. It's a scrub killer pack. Those of you that are whack ass players better adjust to these patch notes. You better adjust to these patch notes because if you've just been abusing something, it's probably gone. You're gonna have to change your play style. Simple as that.
Especially like the Grands, the Catalinas, the Lances, like the changes to 5M. It's a lot bigger than you would think because we saw the Japanese tournament 3v3 with Goichi. Goichi would just abuse the close 5M. Like he would just have to 5M, micro walk, 5M, micro walk, 5M. And it's just like, what do you do against that, honestly? Like, you can't hit a button. All you can do is DP on. Like, that's all you can really do.
And if you're someone like Matera, did you remember the 3v3 when Taiichi was fighting against two Catalinas? 5M. And all she could do is block. That's all she could do. Because if she tries to press her 5L, then she's 6 frames. She could get frame trapped. And the noticeable change, they only did it to Catalina. I want to keep this above. They made it to where it doesn't trigger proximity range. Right?
Yeah, it's normalized now.
So now when she's pushed back, she's going to get far 5M. She won't get close 5M, which means that people can effectively check her for her pressure, especially characters like Matera, where her far 5L would come out because she was frame trapping with those staggers. Now she can actually challenge. Other characters like Fairy too, they could challenge that stagger. So that was a noticeable change for Catalina specifically. And so I'm happy that they adjusted these staggers and normalized them so that way now people on defense don't feel like they're suffocating and getting put in the oppression session.
So no, exactly. It's overall though, I think we can all agree it's a good patch. Like overall,
I like it. Like I wasn't upset about it, especially since the characters I played just didn't really get hit.
You played Percival, right?
and Jita.
They got buffed in the last pack.
Yeah, they did. So noticeably Percival because Jita's still new technically, but. Yeah, they stayed the same, and I kind of like that because I feel like where they're at now, especially Jita, I think that's kind of like the middle ground they kind of want to reach with like these top characters. And I like that these characters they didn't die, right? But recipe, like I'm so sorry to Bubs though, like you got did dirty, but
it's funny too because it was because of universal changes he got.
Yeah, it wasn't like a character specific change, like but I definitely don't like the thought of a character dying completely. So I like that this patch didn't like necessarily kill anyone, but made it so you just have to be a good player to, win with them.
I mean, and that's what I like.
That's what I normalized. All the characters got normalized for the most part. Like auto combos, the close 5M. It's just like I said, good changes overall.
Yo, and the buffers. Oh my god! I'm so happy. Yeah. All those buffers.
You can get your setups now 100%.
Yes. Exactly. Oh man! Shout out to the low aim players though.
Shout out to the 2-2 specials as well.
Oh, I hate it. Yo, I hated that. As Matera, I hated that so much. Oh my god! I was trying to do 2 L, bro.
Just butterflies all day.
I don't want that. Who said I wanted that?
It's like, oh my god, Sonic Soul with the mind games with more butterflies, and
More
you're just
on
like, that's not what I
defense?
fucking want.
No, but shout outs to the Lil Wayne mains. I will say that.
Oh yeah.
I feel bad for them, but you know it is what it is.
Why did they
You
not
gotta
change
hold
the parry, dude? Why did they not change the parry?
Hey man, this goes back to what Tsuntenshi said about these Arxis patch notes. They are good, but I will say they slip up somewhere. Remember?
Yeah, like they don't hit it quite. I feel like it's also a fear of like the niche characters like Lil Wayne too, because they don't want to accidentally make them broken.
Exactly.
Like remember like Jacko and Guilty
Oh, I
Gear.
remember Jacko.
Like everyone hated.
I remember that.
And then they just killed her. Like I was like, oh, I don't want to play Jacko. I'm going back to Kai.
Big buttons.
I mean, what I remember is from Dragon Ball Fighters where they said Perfect Cell was working just as intended.
Oh man.
I remember when they tried to justify with that. So I'm like, yeah, you gotta hold that. You gotta hold that with Arxis. You kind of.
I miss day one, my Dragon Ball Fighters Android 16, just hard knockdowns.
Oh, dude, that's sick.
Those
That
are good
was sick, dude.
Hey, I told myself that I would main him, and even now I don't play Dragon Ball Fighters like seriously, but when like I still always use Android 16, man. This is a cool motherfucker.
I mean, I still use
like
16, but I play Dragon Ball way more casually now.
My like week 1 team became like kind of like a good, like a quote unquote good team. It was just Android 18 or Trunks with beams, Goku and Goku Black, and fast forward a year or two like into the future, like Super Saiyan Goku was the staple on every team. Goku Black not so much, but his beam was still great. That's where GT Goku comes in, and
GT
Oh,
Goku,
God.
man. GT
plays Trunks
Goku.
and Bardock. That was
So
my team.
good.
Kid.
But yeah, no, I think we got that all nicely done. Good discussion. I just wanted to talk about it briefly because we have other stuff to talk about, such as the main topic of why we're all here is anime. So
Hell yeah.
That's why I'm here.
from what I understand, Sonic Soul is more of a Toonami guy, correct?
I have grown up like I started out with Toonami, yeah. Like
Mhm.
that was the main thing I that got me into anime specifically.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think it was actually for a lot of people, just in general, right? Who
Yeah,
else
I'd
here
say so.
was into Toonami, and that's how it got started.
That's not how it started for me, but
Ah.
Toonami definitely contributed to more of my interest into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely same with me too. Toonami's also the first time Toonami was what introduced me to Daft Punk. Remember when they aired the first
Interstellar 555.
Interstellar 555?
Yeah.
That was my favorite anime when I was a kid. I was like, holy shit.
And it's crazy because they decided to produce like one of their albums in an anime, right?
Yeah,
Like
that was so dope.
that was so revolutionary. So
Mhm. So
And, like they
Tsuntenshi
weren't even talking or anything. It was just like literally
yeah.
just like everything was mute.
is all
except the
music. So Tsuntenshi, what did get you into anime then?
It wasn't necessarily something that got me into anime, but I remember when I was like a little kid, like 4 or something. Sailor Moon was like on TV, like in the morning before school, and my mom would always watch it, and since I was awake, I would just watch it too.
Oh,
And I kind of liked, and it was around an age where like animation and like cartoons was like Rugrats and everything on Nickelodeon. So seeing like
Mhm.
animation that looked more like proportionate to like a human, what a person looks like, I guess, quote unquote. Like they didn't look like weird
not
like
Rugrats or
yeah.
I mean, I will say a lot of the people in Sailor Moon though got some long ass legs. I'm just saying.
But I mean, when you
You're not
compare that to bald babies and like monsters having eyeballs,
The difference,
You're
the
absolutely
difference
right.
in like art
Absolutely.
styles and the way they depicted their characters really like interested me because they were so different in a very appealing way, and it kind of like followed through when like other like kid anime came out, like I guess kid anime, anime that was aimed at a younger demographic, like Pokemon,
cartoons, I guess.
Yeah.
Card Captors, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Mm.
But I think what like got me
Beyblade.
more into anime was definitely Toonami contributed to it, but I think my neighbor he gave me like a bunch of anime DVDs that just made me like watch even more anime.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like one of my like all-time favorites of like classic anime is Initial D.
Oh man,
Initial dude.
that was
like,
a classic.
That's that was actually really hard to get a hold of back then. I think, right? Like,
I think you just had to like know about it, right?
Okay.
Like, and it was at a time where like FYE was like the place he went to get it, and they were like very limited in stock too.
Oh
like,
man,
it's almost like a special order type thing, right? Like you don't just walk into like a store and find an anime section. It's more like a special.
Especially back then. Oh man.
Yeah.
It was so obscure back in the day.
Yeah,
And
so
some
like
of them
he just like handed me a DVD. He's like, "Hey, you should watch this." Like, okay, cool, and I loved it. And then he just showed me more. He showed me like Full Metal Panic, bunch of other. He gave me like and then like fast forward a couple years, he gave me like a hard drive with a bunch of anime he downloaded. That's how I got into like subbed anime.
Good thing you trust this guy.
Man, it's funny because that reminds me of when I was younger. The way I would get my anime was one of my uncles. He would get like VHS tapes, and he would record episodes of Dragon Ball as they were coming out with like Spanish dubs. And then, like, whenever we would have a party, all my aunts would like go like start like making all the food and like catching up and stuff. And then my uncle would like take all of like me and my brothers and like our cousins, and he'd just like start playing Dragon Ball. And like my aunt was complaining that like he was like recording over like baby videos of his kid and stuff, and he's like, I don't care, that's not important. We'll watch Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball is the almighty, dude. Oh man, the
Hell
goat.
yeah.
That's definitely the GOAT.
So Tsuntenshi, you said Sailor Moon is your first anime, and then I'm kind of curious, what got you into it then, Sonic? What was your first anime?
Oh, well, seeing as how I started from Toonami, like, one of the first things that I actually caught on to was Yu Yu Hakusho. That was actually my first anime at the time. I was, it had the afternoon block too, so that would usually pop up, and I'd be like, oh, snap. Like, I was intrigued because the character himself, like, he died in the first episode, so I'm like, word? Like, you normally don't hear that at all. So it's like he just dies, and then there's this whole other, like, it starts talking about the afterlife and all this other stuff, and I'm like, this is kind of sick. And then the crazy part is it shows like how his character changes based on how he was first like perceiving everybody when he was alive versus how he's starting to see how people like saw him now that he's dead. Like they actually cared about him. So he's like, man, well, I should probably protect this world or whatever. So then he ends up like coming back, but then he realizes, oh snap, he's a spirit protected now. Now he's shooting stuff out of his fingers and stuff. I thought it was mad cool. And then later on, like when they started introducing other characters, I was really vibing with Hiei back in the day. I was a little edgelord.
Weren't we all?
Yeah. You got the looking down, like with your shoulders back, just like.
I got the hands in my pockets. I remember exactly because I used to do this as a kid, right? My grandmother would give me my umbrella and stuff to go to school and stuff when it was raining. So what I did, I'm like, I'm gonna be like Hiei. He had that behind his back. So I had my backpack on. I would put the umbrella in the little, like, in the gap between the backpack and stuff. So I was actually carrying that. And whenever I would take it out, I would just be like, So that was my first anime that put me on. So.
Nice. You got really into it then, huh? Trying to impersonate all the characters, and that's sick.
Yeah.
I think this naturally happens.
Yeah.
Like,
comes with the territory.
Dragon Ball Z, like. Whenever you're like in the school bus and like you have like the window open and then like your hair just kind of like breezes through it, we pretend we're like turning Super Saiyan or some shit.
Oh man, yeah. To be a kid, dude. Shit.
Hell yeah.
Man, good time.
What about you, Higashi? What was your first anime?
Yeah.
That would have to be Pokemon, cause I was a huge fan of just the game, and then I was like, oh, they have a show. I was like, oh snap, okay, so tune into I think it was Cartoon Network still at the time, and yeah, just got really into Pokemon, then Digimon, and then I got more into the mainstream stuff, such as like Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball I think is what really got me into it. That's what made me want to actually like continuously watch anime and whatnot. Even though I didn't start at episode 1, I think it was like episode in the I think it was in the middle of the Frieza arc for Namek.
I think that's where I started too. Like I got into Dragon Ball later than a lot of people. Like I think my first episode was like when Trunks arrived and he became my favorite character.
Oh, Trunks.
Okay,
You don't even know
Yo,
he's
a lot
in
of
the
people's
future.
favorite characters.
He sliced up Frieza OD hard and said King Cold is nothing. I'm gonna blast him with one key blast, and he was gone.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, he's got that umbrella too going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can chuck it in the
Yeah,
air
That's a
too.
Snapple top fact. That's a Snapple top fact right there.
He's like
Oh,
one of those
God,
like
that's
characters who started like the whole trend of like wearing like your button-up shirt open.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna be a rebel.
I think another thing that contributed to it was going to San Francisco J-Town, Japantown, and they had I forgot what the video store was called, but we would go to there like every time, and I could just go through everything. I'd be like, that's cool, that's cool. I never really got to really buy anything, but it was cool just looking at all the different stuff. So that got me into it as well, more and more. But yeah, it's. Yeah, oh yeah, Japan Video. Yeah, that was it. Shout out to Dimitri, NorCal Gen D. He knows. But yeah, I think the rest is just history. Just growing up watching Toonami, and then eventually watching on the internet through questionable means, if anything.
No.
Anyone remember LimeWire? Oh my god.
Oh god.
LimeWire.
man.
I remember LimeWire for music, and that's because my friend did it.
Yo, I used LimeWire to download LimeWire Pro. That's what
Hell
I did.
yeah.
That's what I did, and then I just got all my anime from that.
And then
Nice.
and then obviously the AMVs.
Oh,
Remember
man.
all of those?
Yo, the
Oh, man.
DBZ AMVs went mad hard back in the day.
Dude, Naruto and Bleach AMVs were my jam, man.
Yo,
I mean, I think that's
There were
like
AM
a big thing for
there were AMVs for like all the different fight scenes, for pairings, for like everything. Like it's just,
for
it was
romance.
ridiculous. Yeah,
What's-
for romance,
okay,
for
okay.
pairings.
What's the song? What's the song that you've heard the most in AMVs?
The Linkin Park song, that's for sure.
Exactly.
One of it's probably mine. Is like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
crawling,
that's right, it was.
definitely.
And then you just see them. You see Teen Gohan like no. You see Vegeta. You see Vegeta, Majin Vegeta, because that's every single time it opens. You see Majin Vegeta just go like crawling
Naruto
in
versus
my
Sasuke, yeah, we've seen that one like a
Exactly.
million times.
That's another one. That's another one. Free.
Definitely.
Yo.
Those
I like
were
how
the good times.
everybody knows that one song as like the AMV song.
Yes. Doesn't matter how hard you try. It's all I know.
So just speaking of like anime music videos, Sonic, I kind of noticed that you use your intros as kind of like an anime intro. So
Yeah.
when did you start doing that exactly?
So in the beginning, right, I was trying out Granblue Fantasy Versus, and I was just practicing and stuff. But then I'm like, what's gonna get like more people to realize like, yo, I'm in the anime too, and also to get as many people obviously to come in to watch me. I was like, how about I just like I always have the BGM off in the game because I play my own music. So like naturally when you start up the game and it has no BGM, no music plays for the opening. It just shows the opening FMV. So I'm like, if this is like an anime opening, and I like anime, and I'm sure a lot of other people would want to get into it too. I'm like, how about not only do I just play like a different like soundtrack every time, but I just play from all the animes that I know. So today recently, I did Slayer's Try. If anybody knows what Slayer's is, it's like it's an old school anime. It's like back in the late 80s, I think, or early 80s. But they had banger openings. So I'm like, yo, I'm definitely gonna use this for Granblue. So there was a ton of different days where I just used different openings. I even did the one for Bleach with Uberworld. So it was nice. I thought it was aesthetically cool at the time, and a lot of people get hype about it too. It's like, oh man, and I aim to make the song actually fit with the opening every time.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So like
Modern day
purpose.
AMV maker here.
basically. So like for Uberworld, like whenever the song breaks down, when like it shows Bubs' face and then it shows all the weapons break apart and it's like ready before Graham picks up the sword. Every time the song breaks down, it's gotta break down with the video. It's gotta break down with Graham just doing SSBA every time. So.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Yeah, that's one thing I really liked about Granblue's SSBA is all of them so anime.
Oh yeah, free. I loved a lot of them. Like obviously I like Matera's. I like the one that I think I like the most actually, if I were to think about it. And if you guys have any favorites, you could like pitch in too. But I think the one I actually like the most, oh man, it's Percival's. His SSBA is too good. Like he blasts you, and then when he wins, he's just walking. He's just like, yo, the tornado, and he's just walking at the end when he kills you, and he's like, yeah, I'm the best.
And then he poses on you.
Exactly. The pose, like, yeah. That was my favorite. Anybody got any favorites?
Definitely has to be Ladiva's. The 3 count. 1, 2, 3, man. Can't get any better than that, right? And then at the end, they hold the hand up.
Yeah, the end when like the ref like has her winning. I think that part is like super cool.
Mm-hmm. What's insane about that Super Skybound art is that if it doesn't kill, it actually shows the character like kicking up kicking up for the recovery.
Oh, yeah, they have that special animation that just
and like where they kick up.
The way that they do the count, like 2.94 or something. If it's 2.94, that means they have more health. But if it's 299, that means they're like, at a pixel or something like that.
Exactly.
Very low health. I think that's such a good touch.
So cool. What about you, Tsuntenshi?
Like the first one that comes to mind, like would actually be Jita's Deadly Rave.
Oh, that one's
bad.
Really good.
I'm not even gonna front.
That one's really good too.
Yeah, man, having to do the manual input and then having the Super Saiyan Blue, like only on manual, I think is so good.
And having like all the weapons there surrounding her as she does it.
Yeah,
I think that's super cool.
And I like that too, the aesthetically, and it's also mechanically well done because you have to visually time the Deadly Rave by the weapon that you see on screen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So every button press, like another weapon comes
preset?
out. No, it's preset. Like you still do the same command, but what helps you time the command is the different weapons that pop up on the screen. So every time she whips out a new weapon, it shows the logo for that weapon on screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's how you time it.
Yep. And then at the end, you have to do quarter circle back. Unique.
Unique.
Yeah, that's after the guns come out and it pops them up in the air. Yep.
I think it's so sick that it ends with guns too. When are we gonna get a gun character in Granblue, man?
Yeah, that's a fact. When?
There's so many good ones too.
Gun characters in general are so fun.
Yo, facts. Yo, Qiom, what's your favorite your SBA super, your Skybound super?
For Qiom?
Yeah, for Qiom.
Oh. Mine is also Ladiva's.
It's too good, dude. It's too good.
Yeah, I'm a grappler. I'm a grappler at heart. Like I just love all grapplers.
Yeah, so. I respect it. I
hate grapplers with a passion.
Oh, man.
Dying passion.
I think a lot of people feel the same way though.
Yeah.
Like
if you play grapplers, you fucking love
that tweet that Juyuna made before the game came out about Ladiva. Like I resonate with it so hard.
Ladiva, man. I'm still trying to figure out which tier of grapplers she is in. Like, is she the high tier of grapplers or is she like the middle? But
I think she's up there.
Street Fighter 4, Zangief, and then Mika. I think season 1.
I think top tier grappler, like since we got Sailor Moon rep here.
Sailor Moon, yeah.
Yo, Sailor Uranus. Are we gonna talk about her? Yeah, the Uranus. Tomboy literally just command grabbing you in the corner.
Dude,
command grab move.
Is she the one that has the dash, the instant dash?
Yes. Yeah. No, the instant full screen dash and the command grab.
Well, wasn't Skullgirl's grappler one of the best?
Cerebella?
Yeah,
not as good.
Cerebella is also pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In one of her iterations, I think in vanilla she was really good. Or something like that.
The XX version of Tager?
Oh,
the what?
Not Tager, Potemkin, my bad.
Yeah, Potemkin. Okay. Double X Potemkin. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's kind of OD.
I guess technically Beta Strive Pot too.
Oh. Gen D.
Dude, that was sick.
What's up?
You out here giving us false info?
Look, listen. I thought Uranus was pretty dope, but then the more that I look at Potemkin in Strive, and I'm like, yo, round 1 fight, he literally just command grabs you and you lose 80%. Like, what? Literally just
being
does the lunch punch to launch you
off of your command grab is ridiculous.
Off Roman cancel. I saw L.I. Joe do it. I was like, no, why? It's too good.
I played Kaider in that beta. I ran the hell away from him.
Just throwing out the fish.
I wonder what a Strive pot is gonna look like, man. Killing Chip in 3 hits.
I think it's kind of like, that's just how it is.
Yeah, we'll see.
Like,
Yeah, that's just the way it is with that character. With Chip, he just dies.
Chip just dies.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what it's like. It's so hard to say if what we saw in the beta is gonna be final or even close to final even. So
I mean, assuming it comes out like at the end of the year, even if it's even coming out still at the end of this year, like November, December delayers, we're still looking at like 7-8 months of like development.
Dev time.
I mean, I guess I assume they'll do another beta as well, so we'll
I'd
probably
hope
see
so.
a closer.
Yeah,
because I would like
Yeah,
them
final.
to see them test like their rollback.
exactly.
Yeah,
And then,
test
like,
that
you know,
rollback.
A new, updated lobby system.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of funny that you can make like anime characters using the clothes and whatnot. Though, like you saw a couple of Luffy's in there.
Yeah,
I made Hifumi, so
Yeah, that.
Oh, nice.
I wish I had used it that way.
Yeah, I
it
do
was
wonder
fun.
if they'll revamp the lobby system at all or anything like that. But hey, we'll never know. Hopefully. I mean, we'll
find
know,
out
but not right
a couple
anytime
months
soon.
down the line, and Twitter will blow up about it in negative ways, probably.
Ain't that the truth? But yeah,
Are you guys into any like Japanese? What anime intro got you into Japanese music? If you're into Japanese
Oh
music.
man, damn.
Like what's
a
that
a
one intro
Naruto
that-
or a Bleach opening? That's
it would
for
definitely
sure.
be one of those two. Yeah, Naruto or Bleach. I think
Aw,
the first
man.
one for Bleach was really good though. Orange Range,
Mhm.
Asterisk.
Mhm.
Nah, nothing tops Uberworld, bro.
Yeah,
Nothing-
Overworld I
nothing-
think got like
D-Techno Life, Uberworld was just
D-Techno.
it's too good.
You know, to this day, I still listen to Beat Crusaders. They're the ones that did the Tonight, the intro for Bleach.
Mm.
Yeah.
They also, if you guys ever watched on Nickelodeon Kappa Mikey, they also did the intro for Kappa Mikey.
Interesting.
But yeah,
That's cool. That's cool.
Beat Crusaders. That was one of the first things that downloaded on LimeWire. Their entire discography.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Nice. Yeah,
I'm pretty
music.
sure before Overworld it was Naruto opening 2.
Ah man.
Oh
What
yeah.
was that?
I think I don't even know the
Asian
name.
Kung Fu Generation.
Oh,
Haruka?
Okay.
Mm.
You know, I memorized the lyrics to Fighting Dreamers.
Oh, Fighting
Oh, yeah.
Dreamer?
Yeah,
I
that was
remember
my
Fighting
shit,
Dreamers.
dude. That was.
Fighting Dreamers.
I also got really into that band, like Flow.
Yeah, Flow's really good.
Yeah, like I started.
M Flow or just Flow?
Just Flow.
Yeah,
Flow.
the
FLOW.
Japanese band is Flow. Yeah.
Oh, got you.
They also did intros for they did the Jibun Wo, the Code Geass one.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
the-
yeah.
the
Colors?
Gulo. Colors, yeah.
Yeah, that was Flow. That was good old band Flow.
I'm seeing a little bit of the chat. They said Naruto opening 5. That's what I remember Naruto.
Hell yeah,
Naruto opening 5 was ridiculous.
dude.
So-
Bleach opening 1. You know, to this day, I'll still like go back to it and like, oh man, like it hits me.
Yeah, I'll still go back to like the old Naruto openings and just listen to them.
Sometimes I have like them on just YouTube and then have them on the background, just like in
Yeah.
like 1 through 19 or whatever.
Death Note 1 was that the crazy one?
I think the crazy one was the second one.
Yeah, it's the second opening.
Yeah, the second one was crazier. The first one
Hail
was
you
a bit
people!
Yeah,
cooler.
They say like the F word like multiple times.
yeah. Fuck, what was the name of that band? I remember I heard a couple of their songs and they were pretty good.
It's been so long. I don't remember the names of Death
I don't
Note's opening.
remember.
I know what in my head I remember what it sounds like. Just
Man.
I know the first opening and ending. I think it's
Maximum the Hormone. Okay.
Mm.
there we go. Because the first one was Illumina, I think Illumina or something like that. I think that's for the ending, and the opening is the same artist. I didn't know about the second one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of crazy. Like, I'm not sure because I wasn't familiar with Japanese bands back then, but like I was always curious if those OPs like made those bands like either like superstar status or something like that, because I mean, there was a lot of repeat artists that would do them. So, and everyone watched the shows back then.
Of course.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not gonna act like I know what goes on in the music industry over there, but it definitely gave them a lot of exposure here in the West.
Definitely.
I think.
Oh yeah,
New anime.
yeah, especially in the West. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Like,
like
they were like always return artists. They're definitely favorites, and they
That
got
is-
their name out that way.
that is interesting to think about. Like, I wonder if it was like they're big in Japan, and then they make an anime intro, and then they get international, or if they make an anime intro and then they get big in Japan, and then they get big international. Like, because I don't know the music scene over there. It's
Yeah,
like
I
I
don't
wonder
know
what
goes on
it
over
was
there,
like.
so
But
I'm not
like,
gonna-
imagine if they replaced the Japanese intro with an English intro, like they did with One Piece.
Oh, so-
Oh.
the One Piece rap.
Yo, gotta go. Don't give it up, Luffy.
Oh man, dude.
Imagine like the first like English Naruto opening they came out with, where it was just like a bunch of grunts.
Oh god.
So, huh,
Yo, so.
Yo. And then it had that one guitar riff.
yeah.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. The guitar riff.
Oh, Dragon Ball GT opening. That one's a classic.
God, GT in general, man.
Oh my god, GT, dude.
Hey,
GT
Super
stuff.
Saiyan 4, Super Saiyan 4 was pretty cool. I always liked it.
I feel like we meme about it nowadays, but back in the day, we probably thought it was like the greatest thing ever, like hardcore as shit.
Oh yeah, Super Saiyan 4. Yo, Dragon Ball GT put me on. Who here knows about Dragon Ball AF?
I remember that.
I actually
Dragon Ball.
don't.
I've seen a couple
GT.
things, but
where we all thought there was like a Super Saiyan 5.
Yeah, and he had
Up to
silver hair. and
9.
shit.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yo, that was OD. Like GT literally put you on the AF. Like you didn't. It's not even. They weren't even made by anybody. But like it wasn't made by like anybody in the team. Neither was GT like that. It wasn't made by Toriyama per se. He kind of just like was like whatever. But like AF was like more or less like a fan made like doujinshi that everybody like that everybody knew about. That was like non-canon, but it was like it tried to continue the story from GT on.
Yeah, like alternate
Yeah.
future, I think is what it stood for.
Yeah, alternate future. Alternate
Oh,
future.
interesting. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, there's videos about it if you look it up on YouTube, but there's
Yeah.
definitely like a lot of lore broken down with AF.
got all
You
the
know, I think
characters and
GT. I think GT is what put me off from the Dragon Ball universe. Like, I saw a bit of GT and then I just like stopped watching it.
It was all I
Yeah.
had back in the day, so it was kind of like I'm watching the rest of GT.
Facts. I was like, it's Dragon Ball. I'm gonna just watch it. It's at least something, right?
Yeah,
But I didn't
it's
like
definitely
the.
something.
I definitely didn't like the first couple of episodes. They were just because the thing is they wanted to market it more towards children, right? So they wanted to have like a more adventure feel to it.
Yeah, they
where-
mixed in like a lot of like Dragon Ball elements, with, like
It was
the
like your
adventures for the
recreation of
Dragon
Dragon
Balls,
Ball.
and then still had like those Z elements with like the Super Saiyan and the fights, but it didn't
But
really like
that-
work well in execution.
Yeah, they waited way too long for that, and it was just by the time Baby came, it was already like too late. A lot of people had already dipped out.
Yeah,
So-
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I think a lot of people dipped. I don't think a lot of people were still on board with like Kid Goku after possibly growing up with like Goku as a grown adult.
Exactly. It's like
Their
regressing.
entire life. So it's like, oh, I got like a very small childlike Goku now.
Mhm.
Okay.
So we just went back in reverse. This is what we're doing now. Like why? And the way he turned into a kid was so OD. Like why? Yo, what is it? Garlic Jr. Garlic Jr. literally was just like
Pilaf.
Pilaf. There we go. Pilaf. Right. Pilaf had like the Black Star Dragon Balls. It's like, yo, I don't like this kid. I'm gonna make him a kid. That's all I'm gonna do. And then it's like,
He was like,
it just
he was like
happened.
ranting to him too. He was like, "Man, if you were a kid again, I would just totally destroy you. I wish you were just a kid again." And Shenron heard it. And he was like, "Your wish is granted, my dude."
It's like what? Like it was so stupid. It was evil Dragon Balls. Oh my god.
Evil Dragon Balls.
Yeah, it was just super slow at the start, and then it picked up like around the baby arc, like you were saying, then got really good
Yeah.
after that with I mean the evil Dragon Balls were like whatever, but like Omega Shenron was
Hell
so
yeah.
sick. So
And
waiting for that
Gogeta,
character
like,
to
the
be in
for Gogeta?
DBFZ.
Oh, Gogeta is OD. Like every fighting game, but not really like every fighting game that has Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta in it is always mad boss. Like Budokai 3, like they literally had like the sparkles around him and stuff for his aura and stuff. Like, yo, they wanted you to know that you was playing a godlike character, but he's actually not godlike because he only has a timer.
Yeah.
He has a timer, so you can barely use him for so long.
So, I miss the Budokai games. Those are fun to play with.
Yeah, they were OD.
They had, definitely.
You know, it's crazy. It's crazy because there's a community for it still, and it's like they found like guard cancels in the game where you could cancel like charge attacks with guards, so you could create infinites and stuff too, right?
Oh man, that sounds rough.
Yeah, like you would see like Cell doing like infinites and stuff, and there was a meta game in Budokai 3 where now like you would have to play around them having like 3 bars of ki, and so they could teleport away from your string. So you had to like bait them into that and punish them. And once they ran out of ki or they got tired, you just unwailed like infinite combos on them. It was insane through the guard cancel system. So
sounds interesting.
Yeah.
They had a meta, huh?
I feel like everything like eventually gets like some sort of meta if you just dive deep enough. I'm not going to though.
The game did have some input lag. I'm not even gonna.
Where's the Bleach Heat the Soul for PSP meta?
I remember that as a kid, yo.
Dude, no lie, as a kid, that was one of my favorite games to fuck around in, just because like I'm like, yo, you can fight Bleach characters, and man, it was so fun. But like thinking back, it was probably like super janky. I remember playing that one. There was a Zatch Bell fighting game. That one was pretty fun.
For PS2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
The Naruto
I remember playing like the Naruto fighting games.
Clash of Ninja?
PS2. Clash of Ninja and like Ninja Storm, like not the Ultimate Ninja Storm, but the ones where you like were on platforms and shit.
That's Ultimate Ninja.
Yeah, that's Ultimate Ninja.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Was Clash of Ninja the GameCube one?
Is the GameCube one?
Yeah, the 3D one, right?
Dude, those were my favorite ones, man. The GameCube ones. Those are so fun.
You had wall combos just like Tekken.
Yeah,
you had wall combos just like Tekken.
That was my Tekken before Tekken, and then when the Wii one came out, like at my friend's house, we banned Wiimotes because you could like move him to do extra damage. It was fucking broken. We're like, hey, no! If you use a Wiimote, you can't wiggle it when you do your fucking super. That shit's cheating.
Yeah, no, old school, like 3D fighting games, man. That was that was crazy back then. It'd be nice to see those games like if they could do it like in the modern setting and make it actually like competitive. Like that one Naruto
I'm pretty sure there's still like a Clash of Ninja.
Yeah,
like,
Clash of Ninja.
Oh yeah, Clash of Ninja is kicking, man. Like they play on Dolphin too. Yeah, like they there's that online GameCube emulator where you could like where people practice their melee.
Do the Clara client, I think. I think it's Clara client that they do the melee net play stuff, but they do it for Clash of Ninja as well.
Yeah, and every character is like broken.
NorCal Gen D, like GNT4. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, Dimitri.
Okay.
Yeah, Gen D. He actually still plays it every once in a while.
Oh,
yeah, that's
cool.
That's the one that you showed me. Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah. So I wanted to try and do something a little fun. So Tsuntenshi, he watches almost everything. I think like almost everything. I think you do like the 3-episode thing, right? Or
I used to. I mean, I kind of like. I'll keep up with like any YouTubers to see what they recommend for the season. I'll let them do all the grunt work because I don't have time for that anymore. It's their job.
Yeah. But yeah, so
grunt work and I'll be like, okay, this anime looks cool. I'll check it out.
Yeah, no, it's definitely helpful. 20-minute video as opposed to actually watching them.
Yeah, right. Like just watch like a 15-20-minute video instead of watching one episode of 20 minutes and then doing it again for like a million other anime.
Yeah.
Think if I like it or not.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
But yeah, so Sonic, you said that you haven't really watched any of the recent stuff, correct?
No, I think the only recent like anime that I watched was like Demon Slayer. That was really it.
Oh,
and
okay.
I only watched the first season. After that, like I stopped. And even before then, my memory's hazy on a lot of the recent anime stuff.
Okay. So you're you still watch like some of the more mainstream stuff, but just not like maybe like the other stuff is like kind of just unknown.
I'm mostly
to you
old. I think I'm mostly old school.
Mostly old school.
That's really
okay.
Yeah, I'm mostly
Perfect.
old school.
Perfect. Yeah, I wanted to try something. I know Qiom is also kind of like hasn't watched any of the recent stuff, but I wanted to try something here. So Tsuntenshi and myself, we wanted to try to get you guys interested in watching some of these animes that you may or may not have seen.
Hey, GTO in the chat.
GTO,
man.
I remember that show.
Yo, Great Teacher Onizuka and Golden Boy were the two, bro.
Oh, Golden
Those
Boy.
are the two.
Golden Boy is
my
so.
God.
Every moment in Golden Boy is fucking clip worthy.
Golden Boy is definitely up there for questionable in some stuff for some of the context.
It's one of those anime where like especially with like the English voice actors, like they probably like their scripts like got destroyed and they're like, fuck it, we'll just make something up and then
they improv. I think they improv.
That's like probably the earliest form of abridged.
Was it Golden Boy? There was one anime where they actually lost the budget for the translations, so the voice actors literally just winged it from like the very beginning all the way to the
Ghost
end.
Stories as well.
Yeah.
Ghost Stories is pretty funny. Like they would put a bunch of raunchy stuff, and it was almost literally like all ad lib. Like you can just say almost whatever you want as long as it was even close to the story. It's actually hilarious.
It's basically like the anime version of Kung Pao, where you just like throw in your own script.
Pao. Oh my god. But yeah, back to what I was trying to get to. So have you guys seen Coconut Basket?
I know about it, and I think I know about the Zone.
The Zone.
The
I actually have no idea what that's about. Let me Google that real quick. What is it?
Coconut Basket. But basically, we're gonna try and sell you guys to watch it. So if you guys know about it, it's very good. It's a basketball anime, one of the more recent ones as well, and they involve superpowers to a certain extent. Some guys can throw a 3-pointer from an incredibly long range.
That's
anywhere on the court.
Anywhere on the court, basically.
Oh, like
It'll go in
actual
every time.
superpowers?
Well, like the show at first just kind of advertises as like they're prodigies or geniuses in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have one of the guys, like they call him the generation of miracles, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have one guy who just plays like he grew up with street ball, and he can just like he can shoot the ball from any position in any angle in any pose, and he'll make the shot.
Oh shit!
So they basically made the Magic team.
Yeah,
it's a magic.
So like one infamous clips for this character, his name's Aomine. He tries to shoot the ball, but there's like 3 defenders. Like he tries to like lay it up, and instead he goes past the basket and he shoots it from behind the rim or the basket.
The backboard.
Makes it. Yeah, behind the backboard.
That clip. Yeah.
That's old.
Yeah. That is one. That's one of, like the signature scenes for Kuroko, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like basketball, Prince of Tennis.
Yeah,
I know like
Prince of
the new Prince of Tennis. Like Prince of Tennis went way overboard with it. Like
yeah, that guy whose racket like just all of it tore except for like 2 strings, so he always hit it on that exact spot. I was like, what?
Oh, the Tezuka zone.
The Tezuka zone.
All the tennis balls just gravitate towards him.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Man.
I only heard of Kuroko no Basket from like Chris Matrix talking about it.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, I only heard a little bit. I've never watched it. I only know about that and him mentioning the Zone. So.
Oh, he probably on commentary or something then.
Yeah,
it
was on commentary.
Oh yeah, he definitely made a lot of references to the Zone and like the Generation of Miracles on commentary.
Oh shit.
But yeah,
that's a great
I think
one.
Kuroko is definitely like, it's a shonen, so it's it's in the same category as like Dragon Ball and stuff. Yu Yu Hakusho. It's definitely one of those shows that's really exciting to watch. Even like the superpowers aside, like it's an enjoyable show. Like I went into it not even. I don't like watch sports, right? Like I'm a sad life nerd who just watches cartoons. But yeah, these kind of shows always get me kind of interested in the actual sport, and Kuroko definitely did that.
Oh, nice.
But, I'll definitely check it out if you got the chance.
I will definitely.
I'm adding it. I'm adding it to my list right now. Actually,
yeah, I don't think it's like a really long series too. Like it's not like One Piece length or Naruto length.
Okay.
It's like less than 100 episodes.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah,
That's
I think
not
they had like
watchables, especially if you
they
want to
had
binge
3
it.
seasons and like a movie, and they're all on Crunchyroll. So
There are movies, right? Yeah.
yeah, there's one movie which is basically like the sequel to everything.
Oh, okay. They haven't like condensed it into one movie yet. Or two?
Oh yeah, there is like a movie trilogy that like basically shortens the events of each season into a movie format. But I feel like you missed like a lot of like the charm.
I'm not too big of a fan of that kind of stuff anyway.
Yeah,
It's really good for like if you want to just like rewatch it, but not rewatch every single episode.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the thing about the movie is that it does it all through like the perspective, I believe, of like the main team, but doesn't show anything from like the other teams.
They usually have to leave stuff out for time constraints. They did the
Yeah.
same thing for like older anime too, like Ashita no Joe. Like Ashita no Joe or Tomorrow's Joe. It's a boxing anime. Back in again like the early 80s, but they made like movie compilations of it, and it's okay, but it doesn't cover as much as like the anime and the manga does. So
Yeah, and of course, like with those formats, it never really will effectively. So some stuff has to get cut off and still present like a story that's easily digestible within that time frame.
yeah.
I think something that did a pretty good job with that was the Madoka movies. Like,
Oh yeah, definitely. I think the
'cause
Madoka
they
movies are still fine because it was already like a short series to begin with.
it was only like what, like 12 episodes.
Yeah,
it was
12
one
episodes,
season.
So
Like they
cutting
just
off
put
a
like the
little bit.
first half as one movie, but the one thing that bugged me about that was that they completely skipped that intro dream scene with Madoka and Homura. So I was just like, why would you cut that in the movie? That like makes everything so much more confusing. And like she's like, oh, it's that thing I saw in my dreams, and people are like, what dreams? Like what?
Yeah,
You missed the
sometimes they miss the mark sometimes, but it's.
But they added scenes, which was weird. But like it did give like better context. So I'm of the boat of watch the series and the movie when it comes to anime movies. Even if it's supposedly, I'm like even if they just add like one scene to the movie, like I'll still watch it just to like get another perspective on it.
I did want to like add to like since we were talking about Kuroko and some sports anime right now. I did want to like shill Haikyuu a little bit as well, the volleyball
Heard of
anime.
that too.
Yeah, now-
godlike.
Yeah, Kuroko is like a good intro to like just to get comfortable with sports anime, I think. It's still, exciting. I'm not gonna downplay Kuroko at all, but Haikyuu is like that's where you get like to the real stuff. Like you lose all the superpowers and it's just a hype grounded sports anime.
Kind of like Ippo actually. A little bit.
Basically, yeah. Speaking of Ippo, I was also gonna mention Megalobox. That was like
Sonic,
yeah.
Souls
Like
stick.
if I already watched Ashita no Joe, I already know Megalobox. I watched Megalobox.
Okay,
I was alright with it. Yeah, it was okay.
Is so good.
I like the music in Megalobox a lot.
I love the aesthetic and the music the most.
I hope that the season 2 that comes out is gonna like build upon things. I didn't like how it ended in the first season.
I didn't like how it ended either.
Yeah.
I wasn't really happy with it, but that's a different discussion. But I'm also one last like sports anime that I really love is Baby Steps.
Baby Steps is really good.
Yeah, Baby Steps is a tennis anime, and it's about a boy who kind of starts from scratch. He's like he's a book nerd. He kind of just wants to find like a club or like a lazy like activity to stay physical and stuff. So he in his mind he's like, oh, I'll just like hit the tennis ball back and forth with some bunch of old people like over at the tennis club or something. And he goes there and he sees like the cute girl from school like going hard on tennis. He sees a bunch of these people going hard on tennis.
Yo, why does it sound like somewhat like, it's not exactly, but it sounds a little bit like Slam Dunk. A little bit. Just because like the main character, he has this same girl that he's trying to like go after too.
He's not even like going after her. It's just like he just recognizes her from school. And he's like, why is she so interested in tennis? and so he starts like learning tennis from like the ground up. And the thing that like has a lot of charm is that as a competitor, you get to see his progress and how he approaches it. Like,
because he's kind of like a day one scrub, basically.
Yeah, basically, but he doesn't approach it like a day one scrub. He actually like goes out and studies all the proper forms. He's into like the tennis courts, just practicing like hitting the tennis ball like at the wall just to get his like just to make sure he's properly hitting it in the directions he wants to and returning it. And then you get to see him like go through like his first tournament experience. Like, I think as a competitor, it just hits home because they'll mention stuff like, "Oh snap, I'm gonna face like the top seed in like the first match." Like I don't want to go like 0-2 or something, right? Like
I already had that on my to watch list.
Yeah, so I definitely want to like throw that one out there. I think it's an anime that every like competitor should watch, especially since we have like a huge
high school
an FGC that like has a lot of people that like anime, and I feel like a lot of them haven't watched it yet and should.
Yeah, it's one of the less known animes for sure. That's like really good.
Was it? I think it's Baby Steps again.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's no longer on Crunchyroll. I think I'm not sure where it's at anymore. I know all the episodes were uploaded on YouTube.
Oh, cool.
So go back to the YouTube days, except they're not like in 3 parts.
3 parts. Spanish subs.
I remember that.
The thing is flipped.
I hate the most about the YouTube ones is that like the original upload will have like part 1, part 2, and won't even have part 3, and I have to find part 3 from a different uploader.
But it starts at a different spot.
Yeah, it starts like maybe like a couple seconds. I hate when they start like a couple seconds after, so I just like missed like I saw like half a minute of content. Like crap.
That happened to me a lot when I was trying to watch Hokuto no Ken. I remember that as a kid. Jesus. It's so hard on you.
One last recommendation that I kind of want to make would be Violet Evergarden. So
I've heard of that.
Oh, you've heard of it? You should watch it. It's on Netflix. Watch it.
Yeah, I followed the Twitter account because I thought the animation on that was banging, and I'm like, yo, I want to watch this. Yeah, it was so good. And then it's like, I saw the trailer for it, so I didn't know anything about the story. But like, it definitely hit me in the feels, and I'm like, why does this girl have like robot arms? Like, I just want to it's mad good. Like, I might actually check it out.
I highly recommend it.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. Is that the 3D animated one?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not 3D animated. A little bit of it is, but not really.
Kyoto animation that makes everything look more beautiful in reality.
It's kind of like Your Name, like the movie. Like it has a similar. It's a similar like aesthetic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the quality for it is incredibly high.
Your Name, but in an anime series.
But yeah, if you want to get touchy feely, and that's definitely one that you should try to check out because you definitely start to really feel for the characters and really like them a lot.
Yeah, like, I will say about Violet Evergarden though is that it starts off slow,
very slow.
Like
that's okay.
There's like the 3-episode rule. I gave it like the 5-episode rule.
The animation by itself is it's so good.
Yeah, at first you'd be like, what's going on here? Why am I watching this? Like, am I supposed to get sad by this? But then you're invested by episode 5. You're like, okay, I'll keep watching it. And then you'll get hit at a specific episode I won't mention because everyone else will watch it. No, I ain't going to say it, but it hits you and when you least expect it. And you'll get really sad and cry in your bed or some shit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I love doing that.
And you'll probably tweet about it on Twitter like, oh my god, I just got hit hard by Violet Evergarden.
I mean, I think the only animes that I've ever actually like cried to, I think it was Rose of Versailles, Ashita no Jo. So it's like, if this one is gonna do that to me, oh man. I posted about both of those on my Twitter. So.
This one that like made me cry. The first one that made me cry was Clanad.
Oh my god, bro. Oh,
yeah.
So
After Story killed me, and anytime I ever see like after story scenes like just shown back to me, I'm like, shit, the tears are coming back. I can't do this.
Damn, man.
That's still like my #1 anime. Like I love that thing. I love that show so much.
Yeah, Clanad. Did you guys ever play the visual novels?
I had the visual novels. I want to play it. Cool. I don't have time. Well, maybe
That's
I
a lot
might
of
have more
time,
time
yeah.
with this quarantine now, but
Yeah.
okay, maybe I might have now. Might now. Bleh, I might have time now, especially since it's on like every console now too. It's not like something you have to
Oh, really?
illegally download
Hmm.
with like translation files and everything. It's like
Oh god.
it's everywhere now, which I like. It's good. It deserves it.
Nice.
Facts.
Since we're talking about like a couple anime that like makes me cry like a little bitch, Anohana was the next show.
Oh yeah.
That made me
was
tear
good.
up.
It's another one that definitely recommend to watch. It's basically like it's hard to say anything without spoiling it though.
I mean, I don't think it's really a spoiler, like because it's in the synopsis and literally episode 1, right?
Mm.
So the show starts off with a boy who sees the spirit of a girl from his past that passed away, and he's wondering why he can see her, right? And this boy and this girl were part of like a large group of friends, and those group of friends are now like apart. They're no longer like as close as they are of each other.
Estranged, yeah.
Yeah, and the girl kind of like she interacts with the MC like, how come you guys aren't friends together? Please get back together, kind of thing. And it really like goes deeper into like their past and like their relationships together. And it hits you after everything sort of builds up. I think that's as much as I'm going to say about it.
I got you.
It's a short show too. It's like I think 11 or 12 episodes.
12 or 11.
So
at first I thought you said Akunohana. I was like, what? That one?
I don't know what that one is, and I'm afraid what it might be. So.
Akunohana is the one where they did a rotoscoping animation, where like it looks super janky because like do you guys know about rotoscoping? Like when you take like somebody acting something out and then you just like literally just trace over every frame, so like it looks really jarring. But
right.
They made an anime called Akunohana that was all rotoscoped.
Is that the one where like the animation was like almost like too realistic and kind of like ugly in a way? Because like I feel like the manga for that series I think had like a more like anime aesthetic, and the anime is that the one you're talking about?
Probably because
yeah.
There were that one. Little Busters, was Little Busters also rotoscoping?
No, Little Busters is another key series like Clan.
Oh, okay.
I don't think the anime quite hit it as much as Clan did, but it's definitely another visual novel I think is worth checking out if you have the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. So yeah, a little wrap up on that. So hopefully by next time we try to do this, maybe you guys have seen either Kuroko no Basket, Haikyuu, Baby Steps, or Violet Evergarden. Yeah.
I'm gonna do my homework. Guys. Don't worry.
I'm probably gonna check out Violet Evergarden and Baby Steps. I'm a little interested in those two, but I don't know. Every time I think about Kuroko no Basket, I think about Chris Matrix. So I'm like, I gotta check that one out, bro. What a boy! I gotta check that.
Okay.
He knows an experience.
I'm a sucker for tennis anime because I love tennis. So it's like that's a must watch for me.
Did you know that Prince of Tennis has a Chinese show on Netflix as well? It's like a real. It's like a
live
real
action?
The live action one.
Live action. Yeah.
Yeah, they do that a lot of anime. Like they
Mob
have like
Psycho
live
100
action for
was
like
another one.
everything.
Live action Bleach.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Live
There's
action
live action
Bleach,
Bleach
man,
on
that
Netflix.
was a
Live
lot
action-
better than I was expecting actually.
Oh, was it? I still haven't seen it.
It was
That live action
actually like
Full
not
Metal.
bad. In my opinion.
Rurouni Kenshin, that was another one.
Rurouni Kenshin.
Live action was that like really good?
So good.
That's probably the best live action movie I think I've
Yo,
seen.
it was shot for shot, like literally, like every single scene. Usually, like you saw Kenshin come in, it was actually showing like the cover panels. There was one where he was coming out of the Kamiya dojo, and it was literally like the same frame as like the last volume cover for the original manga. They literally went that accurate.
Very true to the source material, for sure.
Live action Beastars.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it, but I heard Beastars is like
It's pretty
like
good. It's pretty
the
good.
like the hidden gem.
That's the Netflix one, right?
Yeah, I think
It's on Netflix.
You know-
Yeah.
You know, I actually really hated Beastars.
Oh really?
I thought,
Do tell us
thought-
why.
okay. Look, here's the thing. I saw all of it in one sitting with some friends, and the whole time we were kind of just talking shit because like all the characters are like pretty
Animal.
insufferable. Like
Hmm.
they're, I think it's just like being a crotchety old man perspective because like they all just feel like whiny kids. Like I mean, and they're in high school, so like I guess they're supposed to, but it's just like, oh man, like it struck a nerve with me. Like I'm like,
interesting.
all they're
You should
doing
try
is
to watch it by yourself
complain.
next time.
That's an interesting perspective. I don't like watching like deep shows with a bunch of people, like a bunch of friends. Like, no, that's me
Well,
time.
Also, I feel like it wasn't very deep either. Like I don't think it was like some of like the in-world struggles were very interesting, but they didn't really dive deep into any of that. So I'm like,
That's
I'm pretty
interesting.
sure like in the manga they probably go farther into it.
There's a season 2 that
Oh,
was
there is?
announced. So
Okay, because like the world building was actually like very interesting, but like it would be so weird. Like they'd like give you something like really interesting to think about, and then they'd like just bring it back to like high school drama, and then they'd like give you a couple episodes later something else, and then like more episodes of just high school drama, and I'm just like, ugh, like I was like, stick to one or the other, man. Like,
yeah, it's definitely a different kind of anime for sure. It's
someone in the
obviously
chat
it's
mentioned that the
it's a-
manga
it's a furry
like a
anime.
fighting
Yeah.
place in the world type of thing.
hmm
see,
And it gets violent and bloody in the later chapters.
Yeah.
all right, thanks for that, Panda Betic. Like, like I said, honestly, the world building was very interesting, and it had very interesting concepts, but like it just kept like flip flopping on me.
I hear you.
Oh, okay. The Netflix show had to take away a lot of the small world building stuff. I mean, that makes sense because, like, you know, if you're trying to condense, like, if you're like, we have to hit this mark by this episode, then they're gonna like chop it up and like
That's
edit
just the
it however
natural
they
way of
want
things,
to. Yeah,
unfortunately.
it's just how it goes. That's usually why I prefer reading manga because they could work at whatever pace they want.
Yeah, no, I don't think anything ever really like in terms of anime versus manga. Like, there's just so many things that don't get put in for the final like portion of anime that you'll see in manga or things that get censored. But I mean, both forms of medium are still pretty good for getting into
of
that
course.
genre, right? So
I mean, I think Demon Slayer is like a primary, like an excellent example, right?
yep,
Like its animation, the way that it brought the manga to life is
yeah, the way that they animated it is like each signature move, like each ogi was just mad good. Like
yeah, but they still like they missed like small like interactions with some characters. Like it's super minor, but they still had to like cut some like scenes out just due to like constraints. Like it's just a natural thing. Like even with how amazing they did with that show, they still had to like suffer the same like fate of having like cutting out a little things here and there.
I just realized, wouldn't live action Beastars just be a furry convention?
Look, man.
Oh, yo.
No, man.
Oh man.
Speaking of Netflix shows, actually, have you guys all seen High Score Girl?
I've seen season 1. I need to see
That's my joint. Yo, when I saw, oh my god, let me get hype because that's my jam right there. Like that was one of the animes I was keeping into. I just saw the second one like not too long ago, like the second season. I was waiting mad long. Because
no, for real.
Yo,
Netflix doesn't do simulcast. They wait until it's all over and then they wait months after it's ended to put it out.
Yo, it was so annoying, bro. So basically, this anime is ridiculous because it covers everything from like the early '90s, from when like fighting games were coming out. Like it literally was covering everything. Like the techniques that players were doing, like the screw, yo, the 360 you saw in season 2, like the main character Ono was just like flicking the stick. I was like, yo, we got
They
that.
go very into detail on it. It's amazing.
Yeah, I only saw season 1, but I remember like the guile tactic, like the
yo,
like,
he's playing lame. He's just owning. He's tech grabbing. He's playing scummy. Even the narrator was saying, "No." And they were like that back in the 90s. They were that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were exactly like that. Even in America, there were moments where like some arcades were like, yo, if you stun somebody, you can't attack them after. You have to leave them alone. Like, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
They would have a rule where if you tick through somebody, you would have to like let them tick throw you back, or else you'd like fucking get in a fight over it.
Yo,
the Wild West of arcades, man.
That anime was so real when it came. I was like, yo, word. And then it had a nice story too, because you know Haruo was literally trying to like, you know, he was trying to just play video games, trying to get into fighting games and whatnot. And she was like, yo, what is this girl doing? It's kind of like baby steps in a sense, because he was like, what is this like rich girl doing in like a place of delinquents? That's literally what he was saying. And he was like, yo,
yeah. I think it was a little different because he was already kind of experienced with like games. And
yeah, that's
like,
true.
Who is this girl that's just like sweeping everyone? It's just like,
yeah.
I need to show her what's up, and then he gets blown, he gets his back blown. Like, what the hell?
Yo, I literally popped my headphones to that. That's how hard I was shaking my head, because I was like, yo, we're like that. Yo, I feel like we're like that. We just see somebody that's mad nice, and we're like, yo, he's mad nice? Let me go test that real quick. And then you get bodied. But then it's like, yo.
Sounds like we can have a whole show based on just High Score Girl.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
It's a show I think like everyone especially in the FGC should watch.
Definitely, 100%.
Yo, it covered even like particular kinds of players. Yo, I joke about it, how everybody, like, people that pick in Narmaya, they just really want to look at Narmaya, right? So it's like, there's this one episode
where they're like, everybody knows Chun-Li's the coolest.
There was that one. But I'm talking about the one with Samurai Showdown, right? There was one where it was like, there was this one dude that Yaguchi was playing against. It was like, yo, this guy is literally just playing like just so bad. Like, he's literally just walking into everything. He's like, yo, I'm gonna show this creep. I'm gonna show, because he was impressing this other girl. I forget her name. It's the chick with the blonde hair.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Hidaka?
I think that's what her name is.
Yeah, Hidaka, he was trying to impress her. So he was like, yo, I'm gonna show her exactly what we do in fighting games. And the other dude is like, oh, my precious Nakoruru-chan. My precious Nakoruru.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, marry me. She was like, and he was just running into normals. And I was like, yo, you are getting bodied. I was dying.
You're letting your character die because of your mistakes.
That was my joint, man. Yo, High Score Girl, man.
That freaking the cosplayer commentator that was like,
yeah,
I've gotten so much better. I've gotten so much better now. You're no match against me, and he still gets bopped.
when Hidaka like gets into games too, and she's trying to like win like MC's heart. And she has like this entire like, you know, her own scene that she practices with to prepare.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
She has the whole training montage, and she's actually joins like this small like rival like game within Shibuya to try and like get strong at the game and everything. She wanted to actually like be like, yo, I'm gonna win your heart. Then Haruo actually wins against Hidaka, and it's like, yo, like how did he win? And that's one thing that I like too, is that it shows the mentality of players. Like, he's just playing to have fun. Yeah, he was literally just playing to have fun. That's how he won. So it's like, she's just trying to hype things up. She's playing Phonon and VSAV. She's like, yo, I gotta stop him. He can't do this. He's gonna accept my love, and it didn't happen.
Top tiers.
Yo,
or the dude that kept messing up the inputs to play Akuma and ST, and it's crazy too because like
he got Brown Ryu,
Brown Ryu, just like that. And you have to let it rock. It's like, well, fuck it, man. You're Ryu now.
And then Hidaka was like, yo, I gotta fight against all right, I have to fight against Ono.
She sells her.
Do I pick Akuma? And then, yo, Ono just like, yo, I don't care about 9-1 matchups. You're a scrub.
Yep.
Alright.
Dude, that whole interaction where she's like selling her soul to Akuma, like he's like, join the Satsui no Hado. Like, I don't care if I turn into a fucking demon, I'll beat her.
I didn't watch season 2. It's
too good.
It's really
good.
good.
I think I'm a couple episodes behind for season 2, but it's not even that long though, so it's
no.
I think it's definitely something everyone in the FGC should watch though. So it's 100%.
You know, I actually kind of avoided watching season 2 because I was like, Man, I know I'm gonna start it, and then I'm gonna just fucking binge it all in one day.
I've been distracted
And did
with
you?
like Final Fantasy and Animal
Oh
Crossing.
yeah.
So I had the tech. I was like, I'll just start it at like 8 p.m. so that way like I can't watch it all in one fucking sitting. And I
Yeah,
stayed up
you
until
will.
like I stayed up until like 4 in the morning watching it. Oh no, I started it. I think I started it at 10 p.m. and then I ended it at like 5 or 6 because I remember finishing it, going outside for a cigarette, going like, that was so good. And then I saw the sun come up, and I was like,
Oh
fuck.
no.
I remember doing that with King's Avatar. Like the-
King's
King's
Avatar?
Avatar?
Yeah, it's a Chinese anime actually.
Oh, is that the one with
Oh.
Glory?
Yeah,
Why do I feel like I've heard of that?
I just finished watching that one. I
yeah.
I
It was
feel like I've
on.
heard of it.
Yeah, at the time, it was officially uploaded on YouTube actually by the company. It's basically
Oh, really?
esports the anime.
Esports it's the one
Oh,
where it's like you see them
that.
represented like by their characters in the game, and then it pans out and it shows like the crowd like talking about like what they're doing in the match. I remember
Yeah,
seeing something like that. Yeah.
It's the one about the guy that gets like he's like forced to retire as like
Yeah, he's forced to retire
Yes.
from his
As
sponsored
a- as
team.
a leader,
New
yeah.
management is
Where
what
can
they
you
want.
watch that right now?
Probably on the questionable websites.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
where I
you can
watched
find it like on YouTube. I'm not sure. Like when I
Okay.
watched it, like the company like officially uploaded on their channel, but it's
Mm.
not there anymore. I think.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
But
Because that's
I'm
something
pretty
I,
sure you can
I
find
was
it
interested in,
somewhere.
but I wanted feedback on it first.
It's really good.
Really?
They have like an OVA special and a movie of like the origin story,
Oh,
And-
I haven't
and a
seen
season-
the OVA.
So they got a prequel.
and a season 2 that's coming up but heavily delayed for a long time. Like not even like due to like Corona. It was just like it was supposed to come out like last summer. It was just like kept getting
Oh.
Oh,
delayed.
wow, last summer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you know they're really working hard on it if they're delaying it like that.
Like, with the
the
quality,
animation was too good, man.
but the quality of like it's even in season 1, like you can tell that they utilize a lot of like the 3D animation very well in the background to not take away from what's happening in the foreground.
Yeah.
And they just upped it with like their OVA and their movie. They're going hard on the animation.
Nice. Yeah,
So
I
it-
definitely want to try and check that out then. Maybe I'll check the questionable websites as well.
Yeah, like it's definitely a show I'll definitely check out if you get the chance.
Yeah,
Okay.
I actually just finished that one recently too because another friend recommended it to me.
Nice.
Mm.
But yeah, it was a fun watch. Definitely a fun watch.
Oh yeah, Qiom, you're talking about Promare a lot actually. A little bit ago.
That's another one I've seen on Twitter too. I've seen some like animation stills of it where they like animation cells actually of it. So what is
Yeah.
that about?
tell
Promare is just Trigger being Trigger. Like
Oh, it's my trigger.
yeah.
Oh, all right, immediately good. Immediately.
They have they have their himbo mate MC and their broody MC,
Mm.
and they just put them together, and they're like, okay, we're gonna have both of the MCs, and it's just like it's one of man, it's such a good movie. Like I was telling Higashi earlier, I've seen it like 8 times in theaters.
Dang!
And
I saw it the one time and I was like, that was cool.
because
No,
because
8?
okay, because when I went back to SoCal for a while, and all my friends had different schedules, so
You
they
just saw
had
all of them.
they had showings like for like 2 weeks straight. So I would tell my friends like, hey, let me know what day you're free so we can go watch it, and all of them picked like different days of the week. So I was like, well, fuck it, I'll just go every time with them, and I went every time with
It
them.
didn't get old either, huh?
It didn't get old. Like I still had fun with it the whole time. It's when like I said, it's one of those movies where like it's just balls to the walls, and it's just like a good time. Like it's a good watch. Like
I did that with a much smaller scale though, with the Dragon Ball Broly, Dragon Ball Super Broly.
Oh, you saw it
I wa-
times.
I watched it with like 2 groups of friends, and I was like, it's Dragon Ball, and it looks excellent.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it. Like, when
It's
when
like
you
that.
ever see Dragon Ball again on the big screen, sure.
Exactly. And it's such good quality too.
Yeah, like just I don't mind spending another $8-9 on this ticket. Sure, why not?
Hell yeah.
But man, like Promare, the visuals are so like pleasing to watch. Like the color palettes that they use, like the cinematography that they use, like during the action, and like just like the sound quality of it all. Like, man, one of the times that I saw it was I took my little brothers to go see it.
The Sawano music.
Oh yeah, Sawano. Oh, so good. I had a friend in Japan import the vinyl for me. I have the fucking vinyl.
Oh,
You have the vinyl for Promare.
Yo,
Yeah, watch. I actually have it.
He got it. He's grabbing
I actually have it right here.
On
Yo.
deck.
bro. I just saw some animation cells online on Twitter. This dude got the vinyl for the OST
He saw it
for
8
the
times in
movie.
theaters, you know?
Bro, you don't even know, man. Oh, where the fuck is it? It's because also I collect vinyls, so I have like
Nice.
an absurd amount of just vinyl records hanging out.
I have an absurd amount of a lot of stuff too, so I understand.
I mean, I see all your plushies back there, so.
Yeah, I was about to comment on that.
I like them. I have more. You just can't see them.
Nice, nice.
Where do you find the space to put everything? Because like I'm starting to like run out of space.
Oh, I don't have space.
Nice.
That's
That's the
secret. I don't
correct
have
answer.
space.
That's the
Only
correct
so much
answer.
closet space, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You have to play Tetris every time you get something new with your
For
closet.
real, dude.
Yep. You
Great
gotta.
that you're good at the game Tetris.
You like one new thing, and you gotta like dedicate the whole day to just like figure it out.
Yeah,
For
pretty
me,
much.
it's
That's what I did.
sometimes it's like wall space as well. So try
Oh,
to figure
I-
out
yeah.
what new
I
commission
have
that
no
you want
more
to put
wall
on there.
space. I can't do it with the walls. Like I have like over 10 wall scrolls that are just like in my closet that I just can't use because my wall's filled up with waifus and crap.
I actually have 2 wall scrolls like in front of me, and then I have like 3 posters that I framed up. It's
It's really on our downtime with him trying to find his vinyl.
Okay, you know what? I can't find it. I have too many
Let's
vinyls.
see here. There's that.
Forward.
There's that. And then there's
Oh my.
that.
Whoa, you
Yo,
got
that's OD.
Yeah, that's
I only
Yeah, you
got
put m- you
I only
put
got
my
one,
walls
like
the
one. like I got like 2 actually. There's the Darkstalkers one and the Street Fighter one. Like, yo, that's OD.
Yeah, I have a lot, and I still have like a million of them in my closet. Like, shoot. Let's
Oh
see
my
here.
goodness.
Yeah, I have a
At
bunch
least
of
they're
them.
organized, right?
Yeah.
he's like,
More
yo,
organized than me.
he's like, yo, I'm gonna open
I
up the
got all
wall
these
scroll.
here.
I'm gonna tell you the list of waifus right now.
Yeah.
It's all like the same girls too. Like they just have like a million wall scrolls. I'm like, oh, I like this new one. I'll get it.
Nice.
Damn, you got a
Yeah.
favorite waifu? Is that what that is, Tsuntenshi?
Yeah, like, shoot, like it's these 2 right here. Kirino and Hifumi.
Oh, Hifumi, I respect that. I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that. Speaking of waifus, all right?
Mhm.
I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh dude, but
Oh, I love Yu-Gi-Oh.
yeah, I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh dude. I have like a favorite one from there, which is Akiza. I like Akiza a lot.
Oh, Akiza's
Alright.
she's strong.
Yeah, I like Akiza a lot. But I think my number 1 waifu for like anime, it's got to be Botan for me. It's got to be Botan.
Botan.
Botan. Yu Yu
Yu,
Hakusho. It's
man.
got to be Botan.
Oh,
That dude,
okay.
she had a fashion sense for every single
Yeah, she
episode.
did actually.
Like she was dressing up on fleek. She had the red leather jacket with the pumps too. She had the pumps in the jeans for that one time. Yo, it's done. Yo, you can't top her. Free. You can't top. You can't top.
Botan. Yeah. So
Good
speaking of
choice.
waifus, so you said you're Botan, Tsuntenshi. Got that covered as well. Is
Yeah.
Kirino and
Hifumi.
Ifumi. Yeah, Ifumi.
Yeah. Kirino's been of like a decade now. Like quite literally a decade. Like 10 years ago is when my life went to hell.
Nice.
I used to be one of the cool like, well, not even like I wasn't cool, but I used to be one of those guys and you just like the cool anime dudes.
Okay.
Mm,
Kai Kisuke's so cool. Jin Kizuragi's pretty
Shonens.
cool. And then I entered Waifudom.
Waifu.
The waifu zone.
Yeah, I entered the waifu zone. That's when my life ended.
Qiom, you got one? Number one
Um,
waifus.
I mean, I don't know about waifu because like I don't really see her as a waifu, but my favorite anime character is probably Sayaka from Madoka.
Okay.
Okay.
And my friend went to Japan and he like bought me a bunch of Sayaka figures and stuff.
Oh,
Nice.
Being one of them. Like I got another one right
Basically,
here.
quote unquote waifu status.
Yeah, like because like I mean, waifu it has to turn into like that love for a character, you know. And for
I mean,
me,
favorite
it's just,
character, like you
Hey.
don't have to necessarily like love
Like-
them. They can
yeah, you
just
don't have
Okay.
to
they
love
can be your
them.
favorite.
like well, I guess in that case, then yeah, Sayaka would be my waifu because
Yeah.
like 2B from fucking Nier Automata, she's
Mm,
hardcore waifu. She's
2B
Well,
is strong.
2B is really
2B
good,
is
yeah.
natural.
Yeah.
like one day I realized I was following all these cosplayers on Twitter and I was like, why? And I was like, oh yeah, because they posted 2B cosplays.
Nice. Nice.
I mean, the way I look at it, because we were talking about the waifu stuff before. I mean, as long as you don't got like a Dakimura like next to you, I think you're good.
Have you seen that? Oh no, Tsuntenshi, where are you looking?
Oh, he's got.
Oh man,
Let's see it. Oh!
right next to him. Right next to him.
Hell yeah.
I commissioned that one too by Shunao.
Oh wow.
All right, you got it.
Tsuntenshi,
That's
dude, he's got all that
He's
down.
He's got it all. He's got it all covered.
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess for myself, you guys seen Black Lagoon?
Oh, I know about
Oh,
Black
yeah.
Lagoon. Three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I know.
It's I gotta say Revy then for that.
Oh,
That's
free,
like
free,
Black Lagoon
free,
is like
free.
by far my favorite anime of all time. It's like one of the only ones I actually bought manga for as well.
Oh damn.
But yeah, if you haven't seen Black Lagoon, super highly recommend that. It's so
Yeah,
good.
that.
Just a bunch of badass chicks just kicking ass all day.
Yup.
That's perfect description right there.
Mhm. Then they got really good waifus in there as well, of course. And yeah, let's see here. So we all talked about the waifus, and that was definitely something I want to talk about as well. I mean, how could you not, right?
Of course.
Yeah, you can't have poverty hour without waifu talk.
Yeah, it's funny, like in like the chat before, like the call is like, oh, we should talk about the waifu soon. I'm like, oh, we don't really have to. Like, we don't
And
need
then it
to
happened.
talk about. We can keep it on the,
It came
the
up
series
anyways,
and stuff.
right?
And we just kind of like went into
You-
it anyway.
You got me in the chat. I'm gonna talk about them. All right, like I'm
Yeah, I
going
can talk about them. Like I got them everywhere.
Tenshi's got us beat.
the actual Daki. I'm so mad.
Custom.
Custom.
I paid for that.
Custom
I paid for the art and the print.
Hell
Yo,
yeah.
you
One of
got
a
it.
kind.
You
Hey.
got it. You got it.
He's got all of us. Yeah, he you got nothing to say. All you can say
I
is
gotta
that you
respect
win.
it.
You win this war, dude.
He got the waifu war on deck. He's good. He's good.
Yep.
But yeah. Kind of wanted to talk about like maybe one last thing, I guess. So, yeah, do you guys watch the dubs at all?
Um,
I do.
I mean, obviously, I've watched Yu Yu Hakusho and Toonami.
Mhm.
Funimation dub. That's the joint. So, you know, I grew up with that. I think even the creator for Yu Yu Hakusho said he actually did like the English dub better. So, you
The
know,
dub for Yu Yu Hakusho is great.
yeah, it's too good.
I like checking out dubs. Like I'm not opposed to them.
Yeah,
I know there's like this weird like sub versus dub war. I'm like, so long as the dub's done good, I'll check
exactly.
it out. Like
I just need to
Too
hear
bad.
what it is.
yeah.
Too bad because you're getting that war. Subs versus dubs. Choose-
Oh, word?
Oh no.
Choose your side.
Make sure they do it right. That's basically all it is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, for myself at least, I think as long as the dub is done well and it's not like it doesn't make the anime look bad. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
good. Like One Piece, for example.
Mhm.
I'm in that weird house of both where I'll straight up watch the dub but with subtitles because I know that the subtitles are like a more literal translation, so I can see
Interesting.
like what the English interpretation is, but I also read the subtitles of like
Oh
what they
wow.
would say. Like that's how I saw High Score Girl, and sometimes it would be completely different. Like what the people are actually saying and what the subtitles are. Sometimes they'd be completely different, and I'm okay with that. Like
That sounds like
because
a
I'm
lot of
exposing
like
myself to both.
games too. Like they'll have like Japanese audio and but they'll have like the subtitles like they're just in English.
Mhm.
A little opposite, like not like that. A good literal translation.
Yeah, I noticed that. I mean, even with Granblue, for instance, too, because I have the Japanese version, so I can't switch to English subtitles, English voices. I only have Japanese.
Mhm.
So I mean, I wanted to play the game as early as possible, so that's why I did it. But Zooey came out, and everybody's trying her out right now, and she has a couple lines where she refers to Matera, but she doesn't say Matera's name in English. She just refers to her like AU, but like in the Japanese subtitles you can see that she actually says Matera's name. So it's usually not word for word with most subs, or rather like the subtitles, and in some cases you might even have some translation error.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I will say that after watching anime sub for so long, it's like having the subtitles there whether I'm watching a dub or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes
Sometimes the audio is like so low. I'm like, I didn't hear what they were saying. So
Yeah.
having the subtitles there just to help me out. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I agree.
I know what
exactly.
you're saying. I'm good.
Sometimes if it's like a dub that I'm considering, anime I'm considering watching, I'll watch the dub so I can watch it on the side and not like, and I can do like other things and see if
Like
it's
if you're
good or
doing
not.
something else too.
That's why I like the dub too sometimes, because then I could literally like work or do something and it's like a podcast like this. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
you
the
just,
like Granblue anime, for example. Like the anime is like it's not exactly great, but I watched it in like the dub, so I was like,
Did you watch season
I
1 or
understand.
season 2?
Season 1.
Okay, I think season 2 is a lot better from what I
Okay.
heard. So you decided to check that one out.
Hmm.
Throwing that one out there. I watched season 1 through its entirety. I was like,
Yeah. Maybe I'll check out
Whatever.
season 2, just for the hell of it.
yeah, it's worth checking out. I heard it was better, so I'm not sure how much how true that holds to what they said, but enough people said it to where it's gotten better at least
Okay.
compared to season 1.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Maybe I'll check it out then. But yeah. That's all I got. You guys. You guys got any last words in terms of anime? Shout out to waifus, stuff like that.
I do want to like shout out an anime, Shirobako. That's probably my favorite series. Well, probably my favorite series of like the decade. It's basically an anime about how anime is made.
Oh, it's like Bakuman.
Yeah, basically, but with anime. But it's really well done.
I've heard of that.
It has like a lot of like emotional character development as well. Kind of like their crisis, like pursuing like the role they want to play in like the anime industry.
Mhm.
I love that show so much. When I was like depressed as shit, trying to graduate, I definitely rewatched that show just to get my spirits back up. So, I'll show that show, every anime podcast if I have to.
Shirobako.
Nice.
I respect that. I mean, for me, that anime, obviously, like I've mentioned it like 2 times already, I think. Oh, it was Yu Yu Hakusho, but there's actually one that I watched recently, and it's still Ashita no Joe, like free. Like that to me, like it was too good. Like I had to actually put it on my arcade stick. Like
Oh.
Yeah, that's
I
such a
had-
sick looking arcade
Wow.
stick.
and the thing is, right? Like the way it is in Ashita no Joe 2, they basically have all these pictures, like these like pastel still these pastel paintings of each scene. So I could literally like tell somebody like what exactly happened. Like this is the one where he actually fought like at the end of his fight with Carlos. Speaking of that, that's actually somewhere I believe here, right? Then he also, I'm not gonna go over each one obviously, but like you have the ones where he's literally fighting for Rikishi's honor, one of his friends that he fought within the juvenile prison, and then there's a ton of others, like the one where he returns to the gym. So it's got all the different like scenes from the
Mine's
show.
not as deep as yours, but I'm just gonna show off my waifu anime stick too, since we're showing off fight sticks.
Yo,
Are we showing
Alright,
off- are we showing off
alright.
sticks?
I
Are
see
we
you.
showing
I
off
see you.
sticks? Look, mine has fully
Hey.
This is my hitbox for Nika.
I respect it. Yeah, but yeah, like,
Yo,
Happy we're all in sync there.
hell yeah.
but like that's gonna be like that's the show for me that I would show. It's funny because I talk so much about Yu Yu Hakusho and I actually loved it, and that's what I grew up with. But you know, while I did say that was one of my favorite anime, I think Ashita no Joe actually like it trumps it for me because I relate to it a lot considering my past. So you know, I really do like that show a lot.
Nice. All right. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in, and of course, thank you to the cast here once again. You guys are all great, very enlightful, and just overall, it seems like you guys all have a lot of knowledge on it. So yeah, once again, thank you so much. So we got thank you Qiom, thank you Tsuntenshi, thank you Sonic, and so for the future, maybe we may do this again. We'll see. We'll talk about it. We'll see what happens. But
Me on
yeah.
Twitter
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
Discord. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely check out the Twitters and social media. I got those Twitters top of here as well. You know,
I just
Higashi
retweet art.
FTC.
So if you check out my Twitter, that's what you'll expect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tsuntenshi's
follow
got
me
all the
on-
memes.
If you follow me on my Twitter, you're gonna get some anime titties. So it is what it is. You
Yeah.
gotta hold that.
But you also
Yeah.
got the tech. You also got the tech on Sonic.
That is true. That's the main thing. That's the main thing. That's the tech.
I don't have that.
Tech and titties. TNT.
I just have the art. I just have anime art. That's it. No
Yeah.
tech.
I got you.
I'm not good
Hey,
enough for
people
the
are
tech.
into that though.
Yep.
I copy other people's tech.
Yeah, same here.
There you go.
I'll
Hell yeah.
retweet that. Okay, I'll retweet tech. I
I'll
won't
retweet the tech.
But yeah, thank you so much again for checking out the Ronin Rumble Podcast, name pending Poverty Edition today. And we will see you guys next time.